Kabam MCOC finds additional 6-star shards for this month's event. We have an update on the Act 6 reward situation, and the new objectives are live in game. Yes, what is up and welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news. This is your Wednesday edition and it's update day edition. Are you prepared? You better be. Especially in this edition because we have all the information around the new changes to the Act 6 rewards and so many other crucial things for the game. Obviously, and as usual, hit the like button, subscribe with post notifications on all, and as well a massive thank you to my current patrons, YouTube members and Twitch subs. If you want to give a free Twitch sub and have an Amazon Prime account, then you can do by seeing the instructions on screen now, and as well the link is in the description down below. And a reminder, you need to manually renew it because it doesn't auto renew, so thank you. But without further ado, let's get into the news. Our first story kicks off in game and we'll just talk about and a reminder about Love Juice. Now, Love Juice ends and the conversion ends today. If you've got any leftover Shattered Heart Crystal Shards, then this is a good opportunity to use them, spend them on getting that Love Juice, especially to do some difficult content. And obviously, if you're kind of going to yourself, well, I know I've got limited hours, or maybe I've got like so many left over. The fact is, I would say it's better to do some difficult content now because I believe they switch over to level 4 and level 3 respectively health potions, which if you see like here, level 4 is only 5,000 health, you get an additional 1,900 health back. It's not a huge jump, but it's one of these things we're going, look, do you want an extra 1,900 and do some difficult content now? Or do you want to just kind of go, right, I'll just let it re-roll over to level 4s. Next up and on to objectives. Now we're in game as well for some objectives. I've done the daily, which I'll probably put the crystal opening of what that was over the top of this video. I must admit these are kind of alright, they're fine and do give you an extra opportunity to pick up some 5 and 6-star shards, or unless you're me and you're picking up rubbish, because that's just how lucky I am with stuff in game. But they seem alright. Yeah, ISO 8, gold, hero crystal shards. I should have really checked the drop rates and also the volume. I believe you can pick up 500 or 800 5-star shards if you do land on the 5-star one. I don't know what the 6-star one is. Put in the comment section what you've got, as I didn't check the drop rate. And obviously volume wise, I can't remember if Kabam put anything when it comes to like the amount of said shards you get. These seem to be like fun little objectives, seem to be easy to get, which is fine. So yeah, they're all right. They're okay. They don't give you anything kind of like units, energy refills and stuff, helpful things. It's just helpful things for the point of resource growth and champion growth. Next up, and what is this? Kabam MCOC has found an additional 300 6-star shards when we said that the March of May, the update, is lacking in 6-star shards? Surely not. Well, surely it is. Basically saying, turns out he forgot to include information on the individual quest completion and exploration rewards, and he'll be adding this to the original thread, which we'll look at in a minute. The quest completion and exploration rewards are the same for every quest of each difficulty, so you can get the following rewards for each difficulty 4 times over the course of the month. Which Wazzy has calculated to the following. First of all, saying there's 0 energy spend, which me like you very much. Tier 2 Alpha, 70,400, with the changing meta of the game and the requirement and need for more Tier 2 Alpha, especially with the fact that that's not included with higher tier Alliance Wars participation. No, players do need it. 5-star shards accumulating 16,400, which isn't too bad, especially with something again we're going to talk about in a minute coming into the month, and 6,000 tier 5 basic fragments, which, let's face it, is still stuff we need, and especially to strengthen rosters to take on stuff like gating systems with Act 6 and as well difficult content. Now I'm already feeling March is going to be a really busy month for different types of content, so maybe me saying that, you know, variant, and I just love variants. I think they're some of the best content that Kabam put out there. Yeah, an extra variant would be a tad too much, especially with a green event for St. Patrick's Day, which I did get wrong on Friday. Also, we've got the boss rush, the female boss rush challenge, and as well, not to mention the fact that we've got 6.4 and Act 6 completing and exploring, and yeah, other types of content as well, these side events, objectives, you know, there's a lot of content, so I'm very excited. And as well, the UK meetup is going to mean for some tasty openings, if you know what I mean. Now when it comes to the Moleman expeditions, I think it is difficult to get an understanding how they work. So I think when the quest goes live, I'll probably do a video on it and that'll be the first one up, especially because I believe based on what I've read that you go down one specific path, pick up something and then you complete it, but you can also redo the different types of paths. So is it going to be one path, one prize, or they're going to be a few other paths and multiple prizes? Which I think is just backed up by this point here saying like, well, quest 1, so that'll be today, that'll be 8 paths. So there'll be 8 things to choose from. And then, well, not choose from, but there'll be 8 things on offer to grab. Which even Kabam allude to when saying you can explore. So you can explore it. So you can pick up multiple items on multiple paths, which then theoretically add up to the big numbers. Either way, you'll get an idea later on, and I'll be doing a video on this as well. Now on to our next story, and it looks like we've got visuals and imagery of Terrax and Moleman in action. Not to mention the fact that we've got some more kind of like placeholder thingamajobs for Doombots. Now, as you know, we're all very much aware on the champion's abilities, but have you seen them in action? And I must say, I am so darn impressed with the way that Kabam smash it each and every month with champion animations, movements and feels. Like, this is just blowing my mind with the extent of the way they've done Moleman, to like just the way the cape moves, the way that Giganto Jr. moves, and also it's great to get an idea for special attacks. You can see you've got to create plenty of distance when it comes to the special attacks going in for these champions. Shout out to Trucos and as well to MCOC Journal for putting this together. But yeah, it's really good and amazing that they kind of put these videos out for us, because it does give us an idea of how to evade things, how to kind of like go up against the champion. And do remember that the parrying side of things is not a thing. Interception game might be key, and it's important when the special attacks come in to create plenty of distance. So as you can see, that SP2, Moleman flying out and just smacking into the enemy. Oh, do you know what? It's just so impressive to see this from a mobile game, as you know, they spend so much time and effort with building these characters. But I think it's just an added level of detail with Moleman holding on for dear life, and as well the movement of his cape, which does move and flow in such a way that it would be sitting on top of a big gigantic monster thing. Next up, and Terrax, and again, like the level of detail. I must admit, something I don't like is the amount of rocks very kind of close on, especially with like a Terrax versus Terrax. You won't want to do it because like this is just giving me some kind of like fit just watching the extent of just rock shards just fly up everywhere. But still, you can see the ferocious nature of this champion and the indestructible being quite a pest. So that's something to bear in mind with this. I'm already thinking about examples of champions to go up against, and I think it's going to be like a combination of Dormammu and Magic, but Dr. Voodoo I think is going to be a strong asset against this champion as well. SP1, it looks like, you know, create plenty of distance, but I'll be covering this more in counters video later on. But look, hitting through an armor break, just taking such a chunk of damage away from the enemy. But I think this is kind of like scaled a certain way, even with like a lower PI, which I think is a lower rank, going up against a higher rank. It's going to be quite an interesting one. Yeah, very impressive champions. They look really good. And as well, I will be covering the interactions against these in Uncollected, the Subterranean side quest, and as well the objectives, which will largely go in. So look out for all those videos later on. Next up, an Act 6 rewards that 100% and completion debacle. Now the fact is with this, it didn't really represent a big effort from the community to get this content done based on the rewards that were coming back from it. And let's face it, they were pretty darn poor and didn't exactly excite players. So what have we got on offer? This was the old, by the way. So first of all, Kabam Maker says thank you for your patience as we work to come up with these rewards adjustments for the completion and exploration of Act 6. Our goal with these rewards is that the rewards from completion should help you with exploration, and that exploration helps you to set up for what is to come in the next saga of Marvel Contest of Champions, which I agree, and it's the same point we made about with the transformation from Act 5 to start point of Act 6, and the way that 6-star shards, tier 5 basics, yada yada, are in that particular thing. So the completion rewards are as follows. Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst, a 7, Gold 1.5 mil, Tier 5 Basics 3, 6-star Rank 1 to Rank 2 Rank Up Gem times 1, 6-star Shards 10,000, 25% of a Tier 5 class Catalyst Selector, 5-star Crystal Shards 10,000, and 1 5-star Nexus Hero Crystal, which is indeed a little bit better than it was. I mean, you know, you do have to duck the 5-star shards, but you get the Nexus Crystal instead, which, let's face it, if you pick up something good, could be that propelling factor to get you through a lot of Act 6. And also the tier 5 class Catalyst Selector was a good extra added thing as well. But for the exploration, tier 5 class Catalyst Crystal ×1, tier 5 basic Catalyst ×4, tier 2 Alpha Catalyst ×8, 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, 6-star rank 1 to rank 2 gem ×2, gold 3 million, and a 6-star Nexus Hero Crystal. Yeah, this is incredibly good news, and I'm just like really happy to see a lot of improvements from stuff like here. I'm still not 100% happy about the 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, but if Kabam could guarantee over the space of 12 months from the point of, say, I don't know, June, that we would see at least 1 to 2 a year, like crystal form, then I'd be slightly happy for that going out to Cavalier players, because let's face it, the fact is, you know, I think a lot of players would have benefited more from a generic as opposed to what they benefit from having a crystal. You know, they did a generic 5-star one before. Could they do a generic 6-star on Christmas Day as a Christmas present? I would like that. So make up for the fact that it's not a generic with stuff like that. But, you know, we'll see down the line. I mean, maybe I'm getting my hopes up that that could be a thing. But apart from that, there's definitely improvements of rewards. By the way, this isn't it. This is it. This is the stuff here. I was just referring back to that image and jumping back between both things to compare. So this good, the other bad. So good. As always, we end on arena predictions. Now, this is pretty good. This is a pretty nice arena, which is annoying because there's so much content coming out this week. Not a huge amount. I imagine people will be grinding out over the weekend for this arena. So I don't know if that will impact a lot on the cutoffs. And as well, when it comes to the arena bots, is this going to dramatically affect things as well? It's hard to say. But I'm going to still stick my neck out and say higher than normal. I'm going with Thing at 42 mil. Depending on what happens with these bots, depending on what happens with the anticipation of the new events, preparation for other content, players want to get Act 6 done, it may be a case this arena goes lower. So Thing, 42 mil. The 4-star version, 6.5 mil. Normally, that's how it goes. 6.8 mil, put in that if you feel unsure the 6.5 mil is enough. And as well, the basic Black Widow Clairvoyant. Now, with this one, I think players will go a little bit higher than normal, and you could see about 2.7 mil. I'd love to say that this champion will go for about 2.5 mil, but let's be realistic. More than likely, about 2.7 mil will probably bag this champion. Oh, a 3-star Thing, maybe about 900k will be fine for that. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. There we have it. That has been the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday the 4th of March 2020. Have a lovely day. It's nearly the weekend and it's update day, so there's a lot to be happy about. Check out some recent content here. Check out some supporting links over here. And as always, I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.